Hi everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Tax Tips channel. My name is Cherry Chen, a chartered professional accountant located in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. And my mission is to become the Google map for Canadians, hardworking Canadians seeking financial freedom. And today I have a very special guest here with me. His name is Scott Dillingham. Before I get started to introduce him properly, or he introduce himself properly, one thing that I want to mention is that Scott had been one of the biggest Basket Brigade supporter. I am a co-founder for Hamilton Basket Brigade, a charity that I co-found with my husband and a bunch of friends. And Scott had been one of the biggest supporter of that charity since the inception. So thank you, Scott. Thanks
You're
for
welcome.
coming in, joining us. Scott is also a mortgage agent, and
Yes.
I wanted to let you do the introduction yourself.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you having me here. It's always great to see you again. So I'm an investor. At the peak, I was up to 8 properties, plus a commercial one, which we use as an office, but we actually set it up like we'd rent office spaces to people. It's a really unique and renovated office. So we did that, but so I started in financing about 10 years ago when I started investing. And the reason was because my banker, they didn't understand the needs of an investor. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna do this myself. And then I kind of got into it, and then here we are today. But yeah, I was at a major bank for 7 years. And then I started my own company called Lend City Mortgages, which is a team of DLC Expert Financial. So they're a brokerage out of Mississauga, actually. But we're a team that's independently run under them. And here we are. So thank you.
Cool. So we all know that the interest rates are going up.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about the rates now?
Yes. So as of today, speaking for like an investor buying an investment property, the variable rate, the lowest that I've been able to find is 2.85.
No, that's not bad.
And the 5-year fix is at 4.75.
Whoa.
So that's high. Now, the government though, so we're recording this the end of May. The government in June is apparently going to raise the rates by 50 basis points. So that means they're going to target the variable rate and they're going to raise prime by 0.5%.
Yep.
And so that will obviously affect the variable rates. And what they've done in the past raises as well is they've also stopped buying government bonds, which raised the fixed rates. And that's why they're so high today.
Oh, that sucks. So
Yes.
the classical question that I have to ask, and
Okay.
every investor or every homeowner would ask,
Yeah.
should you go fixed right now?
Great question. It has a technical answer. I think no. I think fixed. Or sorry, variable, not fixed. Don't go with fixed. The reason for this goes back to the stress test. So the government has a stress test, which means you have to qualify, and the lenders do this behind the scenes, but you have to qualify as if your rate is 5.25 or 2% above the rate you're being given. So let's say your rate is 4.5 on a 5-year fixed, then you'd be at 6.5 is your stress test. Where the variable, because it's so much lower, you're actually just qualifying at the stress test rate. So it's easier to qualify. So your budget increases quite a bit by choosing variable. Now, a lot of people are scared of variable. So what you have to do is ask your lender if they allow you to lock it in after closing. Because if they do, then you can get the variable, qualify a bit easier, and then lock in that rate to the fixed, right? If that's your preference and your comfort level. But by doing it that way, you qualify a little bit easier.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, great tip. I've always been told that by my clients, because our team work with over 500 clients,
Okay.
and I was always told by our clients that, hey, my mortgage brokers are telling me that I can only qualify for up to 5 properties, or my bank is
Yep.
telling me. Is that true?
Well, yes, but it's true because they're looking for mortgages in the wrong place, right? So if you do go to a individual bank, not to name any, but they're going to have caps on how much you can or cannot qualify for. Some of the banks are around 4, and some actually go up to 12 to 15, depending, right? So it does depend what bank you go to first. But if you go and work with a broker who knows the limits on each lender, what rental percentage they all use, because some will use 50, some use 80, right? So there's differences. Then we can custom create like a roadmap for the investor to help them to continue to grow and ultimately get unlimited properties.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, I'm an accountant and I know we help a lot of our investor clients set up corporation.
Yep.
And one of the pushback that we get from our clients, not pushback, it's after they set up the corporation, they
Yep.
understand the benefit and the protection that they are going to get through corporation.
Yep.
They approach a mortgage broker and they say, hey, can you get financing on this particular property that I'm interested in inside a corporation? And the mortgage broker always says no. Majority of them, I can't say all of them, a large portion of them always says no. Is that true? Why is it?
So yes and no. And the reason is every broker has their own lender pool that they work with. So even though we all technically have access to the same lenders, if you don't do the volume with them, they will sort of make it so you're not able to access their lending products. Okay, so if you have somebody that specializes in working with owner-occupied properties, and that's their focus, they're not going to have the investor-style lenders that will allow you to register into a corp. So that is sort of the key difference between the two here. But yes, we have a top 5 major bank and another top 10 major bank that will actually allow you to register in the corporation, and more are coming. So we actually, since COVID is kind of getting behind us and the lenders are resuming their in-person meetings, we've actually had a couple lenders, and I won't say them here, but that said, after COVID came, we stopped this program, but now that COVID's disappearing, we're actually opening it back up. So we're getting lenders that are now adding to the list of ones that we can use for corporate buyers.
So, and they are A lenders, right?
This is all A lenders I'm speaking of, yeah.
Okay. So what are the rates? Because the myth on the street is that, hey, there is an increase in terms of rates between borrowing personally versus borrowing corporately.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say so. Now, I know I said the lowest variable rate is at 2.85. That lender is personal only, no corporate. The lowest price lender on a variable right now is 3.1. So in that sense, I could see how an investor might feel like there's an increase in the rate, but realistically, those lower price lenders, they didn't offer that product. So when you go to the lender that's at 3.2, they're the same price, whether it's in your personal name or your corp.
Ah, okay. So I have a couple of student rentals myself.
Okay.
And I believe like at least one of them, we went through you in the past
Yep.
to help us get financing. And the question I run into is that not all banks work with student rentals.
Yes.
So would you have any product or availability to any banks that would allow a student rental investor to refinance their investment property?
Yes. So there's some lenders that are out there, including the big banks, who will make one-off exceptions for investors, and they will do the refinance for them. But you can't count on one-off strategies, right? You need to have something that's concrete that you can rely on and trust. So we have a commercial division at Lend City that only does the commercial mortgages, and through there, and actually it is a lender that you've worked with in the past, they will allow you to do student rentals in Airbnb properties as well.
Oh, Airbnb as well.
And you don't even
Cool.
have to hide it. You just say, yep, it's a student property, you show them the student leases, and they move forward. Airbnbs are a little different because they want to see like the past history of what it rents for, where a student rental, they'll look at the leases. And so from there, they'll move forward, but the loan to values, it is a bit scaled back right now. So pre-COVID, we were doing them for around 75% loan to value in the corp, student rentals through commercial, and now it's around 65%. But I am hearing rumblings that they're going to increase that shortly.
Oh, that's amazing. Maybe then that's the time for me to refinance.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
No problem.
And really appreciate the conversation that we had, and I picked up a couple of good tips from you, as always, every time we talk. If you have any questions, Scott's contact information is in the section below, in the comment section below. Make sure that you give us a thumbs up if you find our video useful, or hit the subscribe button so you can stay on top of the latest tax tips. Until next time, thank you for watching.